Hello, everybody. My name is Krista Fee. Welcome to today's episode of Rise Up Sparks Relationship Edition. So, have you ever wondered what the behavior is that most commonly leads to divorce? Well, it's not probably what you think it is. Most people are probably answering things like breach of trust, infidelity, lies, all of those kind of deep trust fracturing things that go on in a relationship. But what really is the behavior that is the most indicative of an impending divorce is what we're going to call um, rough starts, a harsh startup, or uh, your conversations. So, your conversations are frequently going in the wrong direction right away. So, if one partner comes home from work and says something about the house, says something about, oh, maybe we should work on the house this weekend or something, and the second partner takes that as an accusation or a criticism that the house isn't clean enough. They take that personally. They take it as a criticism. So immediately there is criticism or sarcasm or passive aggressive response coming from the other partner. Now, all of those things we're going to go into much more deeply during other conversations, but think about a conversation you had with your partner recently where you didn't go into it feeling like you wanted a fight, but almost immediately things shifted. Like you thought you were just going to have a normal everyday conversation, and all of a sudden there is this negative energy. Your partner's feeling attacked, and they're attacking you, or you're feeling attacked, and there's this impending, like overwhelming feeling of criticism and just a dislike for each other that's overwhelming this conversation, and you don't even know where that came from, but you respond that fast, right? And you see this replay over and over and over again in your home. So you're struggling to find ways to connect and to talk to each other, and maybe even having therapy and going through these communication and connection exercises, trying to overcome this like terribly harsh start that happens in your conversations. Well, this is a red flag. This is a really big warning sign. So just today, take this food for thought and watch the conversations in your relationship and notice, how rapidly does a fight turn into a fight? Or can you have a pretty decent conversation before conflict arises and you run into that place where you're not making headway and you're basically just in gridlock with each other? You're stuck. Notice, how quickly are you triggered by or triggering your partner into those nasty emotions, those bad words in the relationship? Are you being insulted? Are you insulting? Are you judging and bringing in the blame, shame, and the guilt? Are all of those things happening like right at the offset of those conversations? Or are they coming later after you're frustrated and you've had a significant conversation? And just make note of that. And over the next few weeks, I'll give you some more in-depth conversation about this and some things that you can do to remedy the situation if it's coming up for you frequently, because relationships that are struggling with this particular problem are very prone to be on the pathway to divorce. And we know most of you don't really want that outcome. And some of you would be better off with that outcome. So just off the just to be completely transparent, not all relationships are good for both partners, and not all relationships are worth trying to save, and not all relationships are healthy. So I am never here to force you to stay in a relationship that is not healthy and is not good for you or your partner. So I'm always going to be very, very honest in asking the questions that are going to lead you to discover what is right for you and what is right for your partner. So again, today's challenge for you in the Rise Up Sparks, today's action is to notice those conversations you're having in your relationship that feel uncomfortable, and notice the startup. Are you going into the dark places, to the negative, to the really nasty stuff within the first 3 minutes of a conversation? Or are you actually making it through some conversation and some problem solving efforts and some kindnesses and maybe some strategy, maybe some compromise, and then things go wrong after you've actually hit that gridlock point where neither one of you is willing to give anymore? And let me know in the comments what those situations are for you and how frequently you're feeling like you're hitting that rough start. And those rough starts are a really, really big red flag. So if you are frequently having those rough starts, if you're frequently ramping up really quickly, if you're frequently having blame, shame, guilt right off the outset of a conversation, criticism, sarcasm, all of those things have become a standard part of your daily interactions with your significant other, and you don't want it to be like that anymore, message me below and we'll strategize some ways that you can change this. Again, my name is Krista Fee, and today, thank you for being with me for this episode of Rise Up Sparks, Relationship Edition.